Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how to make the first part of these earrings. Okay, so I'm just going to show you with one earring. They're a really beautiful design and they use this metal earring shape. This one is about 5 centimeters in diameter and I'm using this lovely ultra fine cotton yarn and a 1mm hook. Okay, I've also got a pair of scissors. I have a fine needle, the eye of which I can fit my yarn into, and that's it. So let's get started. So first I'm going to explain this pattern. So this pattern is composed of 2 parts. First, we crochet all of this central bit separately, leading, and the last row of that part is these little semicircular loops. Then we set that aside and then we do the second part, which is working onto the ring, and then we combine the two together. For this part of the video, I'm just going to be showing you the very first bit, how to do all of this, and then in the next video I'll show you how to do the outer bit and to combine it all together. Okay, so let's get started. So we start off by doing a magic ring. So we work our magic ring like this, and that's chain 1. Oh, there we go. So that is chain 1 on the magic ring, and then we do another chain. So we should have 2 chains on our magic ring. Then this does not count as a stitch. Then we're going to work 15 double crochets into our magic ring. So we're going to yarn over, go into the loop, pull up a loop. Now we have 3, yarn over, go through 2, and yarn over and go through 2. That's 1 double crochet. We're using US terminology, American terminology. Yarn over into the loop, go through 2 and go through 2, and again yarn over, and we're going to keep going until we have 15 in total. And this is the fiddliest bit because the magic ring does keep wiggling. To make it easier, you can make your magic ring a bit smaller, like I've just done, by pulling that little end. Okay, and that should make it a little bit easier to work with, a little bit easier to keep everything in the right place. Now be kind to yourselves when you're doing this because the yarn is very small and sometimes I think we need a microscope to see it, so go slow. Your hands will need to get used to it if you've not used yarn this small before. Try and keep tension as even as possible. So let's see how many we've got now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and the last one, 15. So I always count again just to be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Fantastic. So now I'm going to pull this tight, and if it has spun round several times, you want to just unspin it a little bit so that it's not taking up unnecessary space. There, that's fine. So pull that nice and tight until you have a tight little circle. If you want, you can weave it in straight away. I don't tend to, I'll leave it until the end, but I will just chop it a little bit shorter so that it isn't going to confuse us. Right, there we are. So if you can see in the earring, we never close that circle. Okay, so even though we've just done that very first round, the circle remains open. So from this point, we turn our work like this, just like the page of a book. We turn it from right to left. Right, so here we are, we've got our row 1 finished. We're just going to turn right to left, and now we're going to work some double crochet clusters. So I'm just going to show you what those look like on the actual earring. So this was our first round, and then the next round is this one. And can you see we have this sort of double crochet cluster? Okay, and there are 15 in this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now I'm going to show you how to make them. The first one, because it's our turning cluster, is going to be a little bit different to the rest, but I'll show you that now. Okay, so we've turned our work, and into the very first stitch, so it's this same stitch here, we're going to first do a single crochet under both parts of that V, yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through both loops. That's our single crochet. Then we do a chain 1, and then into the same stitch we're going to work a double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull up a loop. Now we have 3, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. That's our first double crochet cluster. The other ones are going to be different, so we're not going to repeat this one, we just do this one once. In between the clusters we chain 1, and that is the same for all of them. So now that we've chained 1, we're going to go into this next stitch, and we must make sure we go under both parts of that V. So turn your work to make sure that you're doing that. We're going to do 1, yarn over, go into that stitch, pull up a loop. Now we have 3 loops. Yarn over, go through 2, and then stop. Then we yarn over and go back into the same stitch and pull up another loop. Now we have 4. Yarn over, go through 2, and yarn over, go through all 3. That is the first of our repetitive double crochet clusters. Okay, so now we're going to repeat that, but first we're going to chain 1. We always have to remember to do chain 1 in between the clusters. So now I'm going to do it again. Yarn over, go into the next stitch. Again, check you've gone under both parts of the V. Pull up a loop. You have 3. Yarn, oh sorry, that's my alarm. So yarn over, go through 2, and then we're going to stop. And then we're going to yarn over again, go back into the same stitch, pull up another loop. Now we have 4. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through all 3. That's another double crochet cluster. Chain 1. Now for the next one, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through, oh no, yarn over, go back into the stitch, almost made a mistake then. 4, yarn over, go through 2, and then yarn over and go through all 3. You can see where those clusters are forming. Chain 1, next stitch, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, stop, yarn over, go back into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, and yarn over, go through 3. Chain 1. And we continue doing that all the way around in exactly the same way. And we do that until we have 15 double crochet clusters in the row. Carry on. And of course, the more you do this, the first one is always going to be the most tricky because it's new. But the more you do this, the more you will start to memorize the pattern, and you can then start creating these beautiful earrings really quickly. I'm sure you can do definitely several pairs in a day. And although I think the white is particularly beautiful because it's so versatile and it will go with absolutely everything and all kinds of different styles. They can be dressed up or dressed down. Of course, you can also do lots of other colours and designs. The world is your oyster, really. There we go. Getting close to the end now. Right, where's that stitch? There we go. Okay. Chain one, up the next one. There we go. Now I think there's one left. Remember, we should have 15. So that last one, you're going to want to turn your work to make sure that you are going under both parts of that last V. And this bit is a bit tricky to show you. There you go. Can you see I'm going through both parts of the V? And then I'm going to do the same thing. Go back under the same both parts. There. So now I should have 15 clusters. So let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Fantastic. Great. So that is round 2 finished. Now we're going to move on to round 3. And once again, we want to turn our work from right to left like we're turning the page of a book. So now we're going to be working into these spaces, the chain 1 spaces between our double crochet clusters. So we go straight into the first one and work 2 single crochets. There's 1 and there is the second one. Then we go straight on to the next one. 1 and another one. And we carry on going all the way round, doing 2 single crochets. Just going to release some more yarn there. Doing 2 single crochets into each chain 1 space. There we go. And we don't want it to be too tight for this bit because we want this lovely round shape to not be distorted in any way. So try to keep that tension lovely and even throughout. Again, the more you do it, the more straightforward it will seem. And you can see this round is lovely and quick. Cover the ground in no time at all. Okay. Bit more yarn. There we go. Almost at the end now. There. And after we've done the last 2, we have to work 1 more single crochet into this very last stitch. You see this V at the top of that double crochet cluster? We're going to put our hook underneath both parts of the V. There we go. And we're going to work 1 extra single crochet. And there we are. Okay. There. Let's check that we've got the right number of stitches. So at the end of this round, there should be 29 single crochets. And you can either count the individual single crochets, or I probably would just count the V's, okay? 1, got a V up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This one is 20. Okay, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Wonderful. So now we move on to the next and final round of the inner part of this pattern. So remember, we do the inner part and then we do the outer part separately, that then joins them together. So we're almost done with the inner part. Again, we turn our work like the page of a book, and this time we're going to work little loops of chain 3s. So chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. Then we miss the stitch right underneath our work, and we miss the next one, and we go into the 3rd stitch, again under both parts of the V, and we work a slip stitch. Then we do another chain 3. Then we miss 1 stitch and go into the next one. And do, oh dear, fiddly work. Hang on, let me just check that I have missed one out. Yes, I have. Now we're going to do a slip stitch, and these are a little bit fiddly because everything is so teeny tiny. Chain 1, 2, 3. Miss this one, go into the next one and work your slip stitch. There, oh, as I said, they're quite fiddly. There we are. Chain 1, 2, 3. Miss that one, go into the next one and slip stitch, sorry. Whoopsie daisy. 1, 2, 3. Miss that one. Go in here. There. 1, 2, 3. Miss that one. Go into that one. So here we are at the end of row 4, and I hope you can see that we've got these lovely little loops here, our chain 3 loops going all the way round. And at the end here we need to tie off our work, because remember, this pattern is worked in 2 halves. So I chop the yarn, pull the tail through and pull it tight. And then I'll need to weave in the ends, okay, nice and neatly, just like normal. And then at that point, we will have finished the inside part of this pattern, this inner bit. And in the next installment of the video, I will show you how to do the outer part and then how to connect the 2 together to get this lovely design. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to connect the inside bit that we made last time, this bit, to the hoop. And what that entails is, first we have to do these single crochets all around the ring. There will be 85 of those. And then we will start connecting them to this inside portion. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we do that now. So to begin with, we need to do a slip knot. There we go. Oh, slip knot. And we can check it's a slip knot by pulling on the short bit, and it should get tighter. Wonderful. Then we take our hook out of the slip knot and we put it through the hoop, put our slip knot back on. This is quite fiddly. Oh my goodness. There. And then what we do is, gosh, this is not going my way. Maybe this is a sign. Right, so we put our hook through the hoop, hold our yarn like that, and then what we do, and if you need to you can hold your yarn like this, is we put the slip knot inside the hoop, and then we do one chain to secure it. There, pull that tight. And now we're going to work single crochets, 85 of them, all the way around the ring. And to make our lives easier so that we don't have to weave in this end, we're going to incorporate this end into our stitches. So just watch, we're going to go underneath both the hoop and the end, yarn over, pull up a loop, there, and then yarn over, pull through both. That's our first single crochet. Okay, this is a bit fiddly, this bit, but we need to make 85 of those. So we're just going to, it's a bit like working into a magic ring, but it's a little bit trickier because the ring is rigid. So you might think it's easier, but actually trying to use a rigid hook around a rigid object is quite tricky. So be kind to yourselves if it feels clunky. Take your time. No one is judging you and no one is timing you. There we go. Once you get the feel for it, it becomes a little bit easier. There we go. And try to keep them nice and tight. You want to have pretty good tension, otherwise you won't fit them all in. Go. And once you've got enough of the tail woven in, you can just chop off the rest. So I'm going to do that now. I have a good chunk of tail in there, so I can chop off the rest. Remember to chop off the right bit. Don't chop off your leading yarn. Oh. Everything is pretty fiddly today. So put the hook in, pull this tight, there we go. So now I can put this away and I can carry on doing my single crochets. And remember, we need 85. We count them in exactly the same way as we would count single crochets anywhere else. We count the V's there, and we never count the loop that's on the hook. Okay, all the way around. So one little tip for working with this superfine yarn and when working with these rigid shapes is, rather than having this quite loose arrangement for your yarn, you'll find that it'll be hard to keep tension. I like to wind it round my little finger at least once, and that gives me a lot more control and a lot better tension. Okay, so everything kind of wibbles around a lot less when I use this arrangement with my little finger controlling a lot of the tension. So that's something you can try. Right, so I've just had the brilliantly fun job of counting all these stitches, and I can confirm that there are 85. So now what we want to do is we want to turn all the stitches to face inwards, okay, because that's how we're going to be connecting. And it's okay if it gets a bit wibbly like this, that will be sorted once we start connecting the two. So now we grab this piece of work that we worked before, and you want to make sure that it's the right way round. So you basically want to make sure that, can you see this ridge? It's on the back, so that the visible ridge is in the center. It doesn't really matter, but if you want to be pedantic, then you want it that way around. And so what you do now is what we're going to basically do is we've got our outer rim and we're going to do chain 1 and then a slip stitch into this chain 3 space and then a chain 1 back here, and there are 5 stitches that we miss out. Then we do another chain 1, slip stitch into this chain 3 space, chain 1 and then slip stitch into this stitch with 5 stitches background. So here we're missing 5 stitches at a time, and then we have a chain 1 connecting the slip stitches into each chain 3 space. So let's see what that looks like in practice. So when we do this, we want to make sure that our hook goes from front to back, not from back to front. Okay, so this is the chain 3 space, that first one. We want to put our hook in from front to back. Then what we need to do is to make sure our yarn, this yarn, is behind this. So can you see my yarn is behind it? And I'm going to go from front to back. Then, and this bit is a bit fiddly, then I'm going to grab the yarn from underneath this shape and pull it through. So I've grabbed it from down here and I'm pulling it through the shape. So it takes a little bit of fiddling. Oh, I've lost it again. Right, so the yarn is behind. I go from front to back. I grab the yarn, pull it through, and then I pull it through. Oh, I forgot to do the chain 1. That's why it's not working. So chain 1 first. There we go. So now we go through there, grab the yarn, pull it through, and pull it through itself. That's our first slip stitch. That is, we've done the chain 1 and now we've done the slip stitch. Okay. Next we have to do another chain 1. So we do chain 1 and then we count 5 stitches that we're missing out and we're going to go into the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th one. We're going to go into there under both parts of the V and we're going to slip stitch in there. So pull it through and pull it through itself and pull it nice and tight. So that is our first connection there. Then we're going to chain 1 and again put the yarn behind our shape there, go front to back, grab the yarn from below, pull it through and pull it through itself and pull it tight. That's our slip stitch, and then chain 1 again, and now we're missing out 5 stitches again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th one. That's where I want to go in under both parts of the V. Yarn over and pull it through itself. Okay, so we're starting to get that pattern. Chain 1, again yarn behind the shape, front to back, grab the yarn, pull it through itself and pull tight. Chain 1, count 5 stitches that we're missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th one. That's where I'm going in under both parts of the V. Pull up a loop and pull the loop through itself. Pull it tight. Chain 1. And then again, yarn behind the shape. Go from front to back. Grab the yarn, pull it through and pull it through itself. Pull it tight. Chain 1. Count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th one under both parts of the V. Slip stitch. And I hope you can see that we are slowly connecting the two together. And we carry on the same thing all the way around. Okay, so we're getting close to the end. I hope you can see that we've got this lovely pattern appearing. And now we're just getting to this last bit. It's exactly the same as the rest, but I thought I'd show you how to finish off. So with yarn, oh dear, just going front to back, grabbing the yarn, pulling it through itself, pull tight, chain one. Again, we want to pull that quite tight there. And now we're going to count 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going into the 6th one. And slip stitch. Oh dear. It's all so tiny. Sometimes I think I need a microscope. Chain 1. And then front to back in here. Pull up a loop and then pull the loop through itself. Chain 1. We're going to miss out 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go into the 6th one here, and a slip stitch here as well. And then chain 1. And now we're going to go into that very last chain 3 space, same as before. Slip stitch, whoops, and then chain 1. Now we're going to go into that very last stitch, or first stitch as it were, our very first V, and then we do exactly the same thing. We do a slip stitch there, and then we do a chain, cut our yarn and pull it through. And that's it. We obviously need to weave this in with a fine needle, but the earring is ready. 2 gold ones together. There we go. So I hope that's been useful. Do write any comments if you have any questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. And good luck.